In the long and grim history of human experimentation, not every atrocity makes it into the textbooks. Some are redacted, others are buried under layers of corporate silence. And then there are those that live on in whisper stories too horrifying to be fiction, yet too dangerous to be acknowledged. Among them is a name spoken only in fear, never officially documented: Nemesis. Nemesis was not a natural creature. He was engineered, a calculated monstrosity created by the Umbrella Corporation, a powerful pharmaceutical giant known publicly for medical innovation and privately for its bioweapons division. While the world marveled at Umbrella's progress, deep beneath the surface, scientists were creating the perfect hunter, a bioorganic weapon capable of thought, learning, and relentless pursuit. The Nemesis program was born from the infamous T-virus, a mutagenic agent capable of reanimating dead tissue. But unlike typical zombie shambling, instinct-driven, Husk's Nemesis was something far more advanced. His core enhancement came from a parasitic organism called Ne-alpha type, surgically implanted into his brain. This parasite acted as a secondary intelligence system, giving Nemesis limited but effective cognitive function, pattern recognition, decision-making, and most terrifying of all, the ability to evolve. His design wasn't to spread infection. His purpose was singular: hunt and eliminate targets designated by his creators. Specifically, the elite Special Forces unit known as S.T.A.R.S, a group that had uncovered too much of Umbrella's secrets. Nemesis was sent not to fight a war, but to erase witnesses. His appearance alone was enough to freeze blood. Standing nearly 3 meters tall, his body was a grotesque fusion of muscle, synthetic armor, and torn flesh, crudely stitched together by industrial staples and metal clamps. His face, if it could be called that, was warped beyond recognition, his mouth sealed with metal hooks to prevent premature mutation. 2 crimson eyes glowed through the shadows, and beneath his long black coat was a form so volatile that it had to be restrained not to protect him, but to protect others from what lay inside. What made Nemesis truly terrifying was not brute force alone, it was intelligence. He could navigate urban terrain, bypass obstacles, analyze tactics, and even utilize weapons, notably a rocket launcher slung over his back, which he operated with unnerving precision. Unlike mindless infected, Nemesis adapted. He learned. The longer he hunted, the more efficient he became. His durability was unprecedented. Traditional weapons barely slowed him. Grenades, high-caliber bullets, fiery, absorbed it all. But when seriously damaged, Nemesis didn't die, he transformed. His flesh would twist and erupt, giving way to black, sinewy tendrils, organic weapons capable of piercing steel. Each stage of mutation brought new abilities, new forms, and a deeper descent into monstrosity. The Ne-alpha parasite allowed him to regenerate almost instantly. What might have killed any living being only triggered an evolutionary response. He was not designed to be immortal, but in practical terms he was. And yet, nothing was more chilling than the sound he made. Nemesis rarely spoke. He didn't roar like a beast or scream like a human. He simply uttered one word over and over again, drawn out in a mechanical, guttural growl. That name became the soundtrack of doom for anyone who heard it. It meant you had been found. It meant he was coming. Nemesis would appear without warning, crashing through walls, emerging from fire, dropping from rooftops. Safe zones ceased to exist. There was no predicting his path, no halting his momentum. If you escaped once, he would return. If you wounded him, he would evolve. The only way to survive was to flee, and even then, not for long. During the Raccoon City outbreak, Nemesis operated with horrifying efficiency. Witnesses described his presence as an unstoppable force, a walking executioner that tore through buildings, police stations, and hospitals alike. Every attempt to stop him ended in failure or greater destruction. Eventually, Nemesis was confronted by advanced military forces. A prototype electromagnetic rail gun designed to destroy tanks was deployed in a last-ditch effort. It hit, it incinerated, and for a moment, it seemed the nightmare was over. His body was engulfed, his movements ceased, and then, nothing. No corpse, no remnants, no confirmation. Some believed he had finally been destroyed. Others, particularly those within Umbrella's inner circles, knew better. There had never been just one parasite, never only one subject. The Ne-alpha system had been developed for replication, and though Umbrella later collapsed under investigation and public outrage, its underground assets vanished, before the world could hold them accountable. Today, the name Nemesis is omitted from every official file, redacted from research logs, scrubbed from footage, but in closed circles among rogue scientists, survivors, and secret dossiers his legacy persists, not as a myth, but as a warning. What he represented was more than a failed experiment. He was proof of what happens when science moves forward without conscience. He was a mirror reflecting humanity's hunger for control, regardless of the cost. Nemesis didn't simply destroy people, he exposed them. And though decades have passed, some still believe that Nemesis or another version of him still exists, hidden, dormant, waiting. Because monsters, like him, aren't born from legends, they're built. And once the blueprints exist, they never really disappear. So, if one day you hear something in the dark, a slow, mechanical growl, a voice dragging out a name that was never meant to be heard again, S.T.A.R.S, then remember, he is not myth, he is not dead, he is Nemesis, and he is coming.